If y'all would please stand with me. Ron Carter is going to lead us in the pledge today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mark, will you pray for us, please?
Most gracious Father in heaven, we thank you so much for the beautiful day that you blessed us with. We thank you, Father, for our club, that you will continue to bless us and our members as we try to help this community and places around the world. Thank you for this week that we return from God. Bless each one of our spirit bodies. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I don't see Nelson, so I guess it's Rotary verse 1.
R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y is known on land and sea. From north to south, from east to west, he profits most who serves the best. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary.
Welcome everyone to Rotary. Today is the first day of February, so make sure you get your sweetie something, because it'll be here before we know it, Valentine's Day. I didn't have any birthdays or club anniversaries on the account this week, unless somebody wants to let us know. Ken's birthday is Wednesday. Well, happy birthday, Ken. We should have sang happy birthday. Anybody else want to tell the truth? Okay, and Johnny is back today, so there's no telling what all he's got to tell us since he's missed it the last few.
Well, I tried to do you a favor. I deleted the Rotary Friends Forever from my email, but Amanda still had a copy of it. Now, this doesn't start until the 15th, right? 15th. But it seems to me if you don't know who your best friend is, you should find out, because I do have my list now, see? So I'll be calling on some of you to tell me all about your best friend. Kathy Drew's the luckiest one in the room because she's my best friend.
He got the best and I got the best.
That's right, that's right. Happy to report that since I was gone for 2 weeks, it was about my daughter in Memphis, and that surgery turned out 100% success. So you always worry when they're cutting on your brain, right? Right. I tried to volunteer, but they couldn't find one. So, the abbot in the monastery was very concerned about the finances of the abbey, or the monastery. They were about bankrupt, so he had a meeting of the brothers, and they decided that the best plan would be to open an old English fish and chip shop. And it was going well. I mean, the money was flowing in, everything was going well, and one morning there was a knock on the monastery door. One of the brothers opened the door, and the gentleman said, "Sir, you have an excellent product. Could I just get an order of chips?" And the brother looked at him and said, "Sir, you'll have to wait a minute. I'm a fish fryer. I'll have to get the chip malt."
Okay, Johnny, I said a good joke.
You want me to tell you another one?
No. We're good, thank you. Save that one for next week. Kurt, do you have a secretary's report for us today?
I count 26 Rotarians. I know we have a couple of guests from the high school. If you want to stand up and introduce yourselves.
My name is John Ward from Batesville High School.
My name's Amanda Fellow, and I'm the junior.
Welcome. We're also pleased to have guests here from the Batesville Daily Guard. I think most of you know him. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Only the Buffy.
Welcome. And I wonder, since they brought up Rotary Friends Forever, is there anybody here today who maybe wasn't here whenever we switched and wants to speak up and find out, since he's got the list there in front of him, who your best friend is? If so, raise your hand.
Steve.
Right here.
Steve Martinez needs to know who his friend is.
Oh, let's see. Got it right here.
Ken Reader.
Yeah.
Either one of them.
But I really think that Kathy and Johnny are wrong, because Brenda and I are the best RFS forever.
Yeah, but you'll get called on.
That's right, and I will know the answers, by golly. Brenda, do you have anything? I don't see Deanna. Do y'all have anything to report today?
So we have the write-off, growth for scholarships coming out here. I know the seniors graduated, that were being for scholarships, we have the counselor.
Yes.
We're willing to share with anybody. That's it.
Scholarships for seniors at all the schools. If you know anybody that's graduating high school this year at one of our 5 schools, tell them to go see their counselor to get an application, or let me know and I can get you a copy. Those are due back by the end of this month, so that we can go ahead and get those picked out and announced. And the RILA scholarships are due by the 15th? By February 15th. If you know any sophomores or juniors at any of the 5 schools that might want to go to RILA this year, let us know, and we'll get them an application for that as well.
So the counselors do have the applications?
The counselors are supposed to have the applications. If they tell you they don't, let me or Brenda know and we'll get you one.
No, I send it out weekly.
Yeah.
My counselor's weekly.
We try to get them to them, but they don't always cooperate.
I know that.
So that's why I said, if you know someone that needs one, let me know and I'll email it to you. I'll have a copy. Okay, Ken, do you have anything today we need to talk about?
No report.
No report, okay. Thank you to Mark House for being such a wonderful door greeter today. Johnny Kent, you're on deck next week.
Okay.
Top bet, Johnny.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
The Chamber Expo was last Wednesday, and I felt like it was a huge success for the Rotary Club. We had lots of people stop by and ask lots of questions and try to find out more about us. I want to thank Phil and Nelson and Renee and Matt Martin and Ron Carter for stepping up and working our booth. I really appreciated it. We had, like I said, a really, really good turnout, and I think it went really well, so I was really excited. Today started the membership drive. It doesn't look like anybody gets any points today. But don't forget, if you're A through L, you're on Mark House's team. M through Z, you're on Penny's team. You get 1 point per guest. 3 points if they do not represent a business or organization that is not currently represented in our club. And then you get 5 additional points if they become a member during the 12-week time period. Friday night, this Friday night is the District Foundation Banquet. It's at 6:30 at the President Clinton Library. We have a table there, and I have room for 10, or we had a table for 10, and I've had 3 people that's had to drop out on me. So if anybody wants to go this Friday night to the banquet, please let me know. There's a group of us going, so we can carpool. We're going to leave town about 4:45 from the Citizens Bank on top of the hill at Southside. Just let me know if you can go. Like I said, I've got a spot for 3, so I'll open it up to the first 3 that want to go, so let me know. I'm also happy to report that the board voted over the last couple of weeks, and we decided to help fund a project that the Cleveland County Club is working on. I know most of y'all remember several years ago when we helped them with some of the water projects over in Honduras. Well, they have gone back, and the schools in Honduras don't have high schools. You go to school through the 8th grade. And over there, all the high schools are to us like colleges. All the high schools are in the big cities. So the smaller communities don't have what we call high school, and they can't make it there. So what the Rotary, several of the Rotary clubs have done is they've gotten together and they have formed these little, we call them trade schools in these little local communities. And they can learn one of 3 trades. They either learn how to bake, how to sew, or how to weld. Well, the problem was they built about 30 of these little schools, but there wasn't enough electrical power to support them. So the Cleveland County Club has headed up a project to help fund transformers, right, good. All right. Transformers to get to these smaller little vocational schools to help them get power. They wanted 14 of them. The cost for each one was $900 a piece, and we had somebody that was already willing to ship them over there and to pay for that, and somebody that was willing to put them up. So all we had to do was buy the actual transformers. So our board voted, and we did donate $500 to that project to help out the Cleveland County Club. So that will count as a project for us this year, an international project for us this year. Okay, Kathy, do you want to introduce your guest?
Don't be afraid.
I just want to say your last name.
Well, I actually this morning conducted poll worker training, so hopefully I don't open it up saying welcome to poll worker training one-on-one. But I think we have one person at the training that's here. Is he paying attention? Yep, there it is. Okay, we have Vicki. She is a park interpreter at Jacksonport State Park. She was hired as an interpreter in 2014, spent the last 19 months learning about history of Jackson County. And looking at here, I don't see what that is. I'm not sure if that's booze or...
Oh, I will reveal all. Well, I won't reveal all.
Okay, you'll really reveal most. She is a past employee of 6 Arkansas State Parks as well as Buffalo National River since '96. She's a member of the National Association for Interpretation, is a certified interpretive guide and a certified heritage interpreter. She is an honors graduate of Arkansas Tech University, holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Recreation and Parks Administration, minored in History and Political Science, and her emphasis was on interpretation. She is also a member of the Arkansas Museums Association and the Arkansas Living History Association. Today, her presentation will be on Civil War medicine.
My last name scares everyone. My last name is Shinawise. There are only 2 Shinawises in the state of Arkansas, and I'm married to the other. We're from, I work at Jacksonport State Park, and therefore I live there right now. But my husband and I have a home in Evening Shade, and I've been here in Arkansas for the last 30 years at Evening Shade. That's home base. Let me see. One of the things that I think about when I'm thinking about Civil War history and Civil War medicine is, since I am a woman, I think about what these women had to do at home, especially as the Civil War went on and the blockades of rivers and other ways of transportation were cut off, and people were not able to get the medicines they needed, especially at home. And since I am a woman, I think of that, and I actually do have 5 kids. And so when I put together these programs, that's where I place myself. I try to place myself in that time period, and if I were actually there, what would I do? I'm very fortunate. I was given the diary of a woman that moved here to Arkansas in 1855. She moved to Hempstead County, and her name was Mary Elizabeth Moore Kerrigan. She was married to Alfred Holt Kerrigan, who was an Arkansas State Senator from Hempstead County, as well as a judge after the Civil War. And I have visited her grave. I have talked to her descendants. And so I have a lot of information on what she did. She was a very, very wonderful nurse and doctor. She and her husband owned a plantation, so it was her job to keep everybody in the household healthy. That included 15 family members and 25 slaves. I was also given a gift of a copy of her handwritten 200-page home book of remedies, which isn't easy to figure out sometimes. Because, number one, she was from North Carolina, so she talked and she wrote phonetically. And so you need sugar with stuff, and that's how she wrote it. So sometimes it was a little difficult to figure things out. But here I'm going to talk about some of the things that were available, and just some of the things that's kind of interesting. This one's just a little bit interesting. And it really doesn't have to do with the Civil War, but you do recognize the brand. Did any of you know that Bayer Corporation, you could go into any store and buy Bayer heroin instead of Bayer aspirin? And I downloaded this picture, and it's just,
Knock a headache.
you will not worry about your headache. I really do get all of my information about medicines right from the horse's mouth. This is a New American Family Physician. This particular one was published in 1860. This is the actual book. I'm a poor person, so yes, that is duct tape on there. This one is Warren's Household Physician. The publication date on this one was 1859. So this is cutting edge technology for the Civil War. And this is where I get a lot of my formulas. And I do make my own medicine these days. So, let me see. I'm speaking mostly right now to the women in the group. Did any of you ever have colicky babies? I had a colicky baby. And this particular plant, do you recognize this one? Grows all over Arkansas. Grows all over Arkansas. And Mary used this one a lot when medicines were not available for her family. This is passion flower. We call it maypops. The reason they call it maypops is the fruit is hollow, and if you bang it on the floor, it may pop and it may not. But it is a wonderful medicine. Have any of you ever been so tired that you couldn't sleep? Just worn down, worn into the ground, 14-hour days, and your feet hurt, and you lay down and your brain keeps going and nothing else slows down and you can't sleep? Well, that's exhaustion. And you can take the leaves and stems of this plant and make it into a tea. And it's a wonderful, wonderful medication for people that are overtired or for muscle cramps. Has anybody ever had muscle cramps so bad that they're crawling around on the floor trying to get somewhere? This is great, and I actually do use this one. I really do use this one. You take the flower or the leaves and stems, make it into a tea, and it will help with that. You can give this one to a colicky baby. It's safe. This particular one doesn't have any maximum dose or minimum dose. And I have to put in my disclaimer right now, because there's going to be one person in a million that's allergic to this plant. So if you aren't, you can still buy this particular plant. I grow all of mine at home at my farm. I go out and get it off the fences. I needed this Saturday. I had an herbal tea workshop at Jacksonport State Park on Saturday. A tea workshop, okay? Our plumbing went down Friday. You do not want to have an herbal tea workshop when you don't have any bathrooms within half a mile. But this is passion flower tea. Go ahead and pass that around. And I had 18 people. It was like everybody came in and said, "Where's the bathroom?" And I'm going, way over there. And drink lightly, drink lightly. But what passion flower tea will do for you, and it reduces your heart rate. It is a natural sedative. It reduces your blood pressure. It also is a natural antispasmodic. That's the reason why it works so well with muscle cramps. And it works for all kinds of muscle cramps, ladies. all kinds of muscle cramps, tension headaches, those little muscles in the back of your neck get going. During the Civil War period, a lot of times, the Victorians had raised their children in such a way, oh, you did not show your limbs. You didn't even say the words arms and legs. But what happens if you have 3 teenage girls in the same room together? What do they talk about? And they giggle, and they laugh. And the Victorians didn't particularly understand that. So they would call the doctor, what's the matter with my child? Why is she acting that way? And many, many times, the doctors of that time period would prescribe passion flower tea. It is a misnomer because everybody thinks that passion flower means that it heightens the passions. What it does is it cools the emotions. And it calms you down and allows you to sleep. And not be quite as giggly and make mom mad. So, go ahead and just keep passing that one around and I'll see what else I got. Somebody asked a little while ago, what's in the bottles? There's booze in these bottles. When I use passion flower, I make a tincture. What a tincture is, it's a combination of herbal matter, in this case, passion flower leaves and stems, and grain alcohol, otherwise known as vodka. So otherwise known as vodka. I actually do use this. And it makes a very nice, clear product. Don't drink out of it. I just want you to take a sniff. I'm going to start on this side.
He heard about you.
It's very herbal. It's very herbal smelling. It works very quickly. When I worked this, and that's another disclaimer. This is not sipping booze. You don't. I know that people, when I say I use this, that people think I'm sitting around with a glass full of it. And my very first dose that I ever gave myself was a triple dose. Sounds like I just sat there all night, doesn't it? My triple dose of that tincture in a glass of tea was 3 eyedroppers full. Okay? Medicine is medicine. There are dosages. And in that case, I was in so much pain, I'd walked 27 miles that weekend. And I had to go to work the next day, and after doing all that walking, I really needed that. And it works very well.
So you mix this with regular tea?
Yeah, after I make the tincture. The way you make a tincture, or the way I do it, I just take a quart jar, and if it's fresh herbal material, I just stuff as much in that quart jar as I can. And then I pour the vodka on top, and you do not want an airspace in there. If any of that fresh plant material is in that airspace, it can spoil. So I actually overfill them. I don't want an airspace in there. But then you just have to let it macerate. That means just let it sit in a warm, dark place. I'll take it out once a day and shake it for 6 weeks. And then after that, I run it through a coffee filter, and that's my product. The alcohol in there acts as a solvent.
No drink.
Just bring it over. So it acts as a solvent. So it was just 2 years ago I finally decided that, oh, I'm going to try some of this stuff. I have all the recipes. I have all the formulas. And also... I know, because 3 eyedroppers full of vodka is not going to do anything to me. Okay? That's how I know. But it works just as well if you use it in tea. I mean, this is just a concentrated version. It concentrates the medicinal components, and it draws all that out, and then you just strain it out and throw the plant material away. Give it a good squeeze like you're wringing out a towel. And it's alcohol. It'll kill the germs. You're okay. I do wash my hands before. Sometimes I even wear gloves. Some of of these things, I had these for the tea program the other day. Have any of you ever thought about red rose petals being really good in medicine? A lot of people don't realize that regular, ordinary red or pink rose petals are really very good for you. They're, number one, they're very high in vitamins, especially vitamin C, but they are a mood enhancer. And with rose petals, especially during the Civil War, there were so many people that were grieving. They lost wives, husbands, sons, daughters. Mary, the lady that I have her diary, during the Civil War, her brother-in-law, John, was shot in the head at the Battle of Wilson's Creek in Missouri, the very first battle of the Civil War, and he was killed. Her other brother-in-law, William, passed away in another battle a couple of years later. She lost another brother-in-law to pneumonia. His wife died of pneumonia, and they had a brand new baby. So Mary raised that baby. So here Mary has 5, I believe, during the Civil War, she had 5 children of her own, and she was raising other people's, and she was taking care of the plantation, all at the same time. This lady was under a lot of stress, and she was grieving. And what rose petal tea does, it enhances your mood, it brightens your day, it brightens your outlook. If you're grieving, it makes you feel better. It helps, it's like an antidepressant. And it smells really good. And with these, to make the tea or the tincture, because you can tincture rose petals just as easily as you can make the tea. The tea is wonderful, though. It tastes really good. You can sweeten it with honey, or you can drink it as is, or sugar, however you like it. And it really does help. Do any of you have any questions about the rose or anything? Go ahead. It's better to have an old-fashioned style rose instead of the modern ones that have all these petals. You want a rose that is highly scented. And a lot of the long stem roses and tea roses that have been developed today, they don't have that scent. They have a lot of beauty, but they don't have that strong rose scent. And the old-fashioned dog roses. There's 3 different types of roses that are called medicinal roses. One of them is Rosa gallica. And I don't speak Latin, so I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right.
I don't either, so
but just look up medicinal roses, but they're all the old-fashioned variety. Very highly scented, and they don't have all those petals. They have petals, but it's like a wild rose. Somewhere between 5 and 10 petals. But they're all very highly scented. And this just smells great. And it doesn't smell bad. Yeah, let's see what else I've got. Over in here. Have any of you ever just fallen down and bruised yourself really bad? This one is Prunella vulgaris. It's full of dry flower things, that's what it is. This is something that grows wild, and a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about today, they grow wild here in Arkansas, so they were available to those people that needed them. This one is called heel all. So you use this in a tea. It does grow in Arkansas. It doesn't grow a lot in Arkansas. I found a few stands here and there, and I hesitated to pick them because the stands weren't very big, and I didn't want to harvest something that there wasn't very much of. So I ordered this. I'll either order it online or I'll go to an herbal store and purchase this. You keep it if you want. But all of these can be made into a tea. I don't think I've got a picture of this particular one. But this is another one that it's very healing. It's good for bruises. It's good for broken bones. but especially bruises and bumps and cuts and that sort of thing. You can make a tea out of it, and you can make an ointment out of this using either petroleum jelly or lard. What they used during the Civil War was lard. That's what they had. So a lot of these things, I dose myself sometimes. So I have not used all of these. I'm not that sick. I'm a fairly healthy person. The one thing I do have problems with is headaches and leg cramps. So I can really vouch for those things because I use them a lot. But a lot of times people will say, well, does it work? I honestly don't know whether it works or not because I've not been sick enough to use it. So it's just one of those things I have to worry about. Has anybody in here, now this one was used during the Civil War a lot, and in fact there may be some of you in this audience who will remember you having your parents use this on you when you were a child. Have any of you ever heard of an asafoetida bag? Asafoetida? Have you ever used asafoetida? Or, as they say here in Arkansas, I asked a lady one time, she was way up in her 90s, and she says, oh, I remember my mama using an asafoetida bag on me the whole time I was in school. During the 19th century, everybody thought that illness, or for the most part, I'm not going to say everybody, but for the most part, people thought disease came from bad air, near rivers and swamps. They didn't realize it was the mosquitoes that were making them sick, not necessarily the air. So what they wanted to do, they wanted to counteract that disease. You've heard the term fight fire with fire? Well, you remember asafoetida, right? Okay. So what they would do, asafoetida is an herb that actually grows in Iraq and Iran. But it was used a lot, and a little bit goes a real long way. And so what they would do with the asafoetida to ward off disease, especially with children that were going to school, and if there was something contagious going around. And it worked. It did work. They would make a paste out of asafoetida. This is powder. They would make a paste out of it and take a little muslin bag and put that asafoetida in the muslin bag, and the children would wear it around their necks as a necklace all day at school. And it worked. Now, I've got some youngsters over here. I'm sending you two to school today, and there's an illness going around, so you're going to get to wear this around your neck. Just take a whiff and pass it around.
You always did it in the winter. And in the summer, spring, you got to grow. Now you know what I smell like in grade school.
Somebody over here pointed out that it worked because it kept all the sick people away from you. It kept all the well people away from you too.
This stuff, for those that bottle will eventually get to you. I've got the cork. The cork is strong enough it's all I need to hold. Just pass it around. Try to hold it way down on the end of that cork, and don't touch your nose with it, because if you touch your nose with it, you're going to smell it all day. It just means you're going to smell it for the rest of the day.
Are you having a child with flashbacks?
And that was kind of mean doing that to you right after you ate, wasn't it? For the ones that, boy, you're a shocking personality. What asafoetida smells like, it smells like a rotten egg has been mixed up with minced garlic. It's what it smells like. It smells really nasty. It's really strong. So how would you like to be a teenager and mom just sends you to school wearing a bag of that around your neck? And the thing is, that asafoetida is not pure. That's only 30% asafoetida. The rest of it is wheat flour. And what they used during the 19th century and the first half of the 20th century was absolutely 100% pure asafoetida. This is only 30% pure. And you know something? That makes a great spice. You can cook with that. I bought that in the spice department of an Indian grocery store. Indian from India. And once you cook it, it loses the rotten egg aroma, and then you get the mild garlicky onion sort of aroma out of it. Just snap out of it.
Yeah, that's it. This was the winter thing, and Grove's Chill Tonic was the spring.
I've got a Grove's Chill Tonic bottle.
I do too. I had a full one with a bottle.
I've got some.
We've
I've
had
got.
no extra.
Don't spill it either.
Yeah, don't spill it. Can you imagine the poor person that came in here?
No, everybody's had it.
I'll get my
We've already
exercise.
had it.
You know, there were, you weren't
Yeah, you're okay. They can't quit.
See, you weren't the only child at school that was that way, though.
Yes, I understand that. I do understand. So in other words, you didn't care how the girls smelled. You were going to kiss them anyway, right?
Well, I wasn't old.
We're going to try.
And I got old enough to resist, they didn't use it
That
anymore.
wasn't an option for you.
Mary, I've learned a lot about Mary, and there are times when I portray her in costume. And there was one time that I really felt like a fraud. I'd been portraying this woman for 2 years. I had her diary. I knew what she did on a day-to-day basis. I know who she visited. I know what she did throughout the day. And the thing was, she and her husband were buried less than a half a mile from my house, and I'd never visited the cemetery. So one beautiful Sunday afternoon, it was really pretty. The sun was just going down. It was one of those perfect sunsets. And I thought, I really need to go down there. I'm portraying this woman. I'm telling about her life. And I could not portray Mary if I wasn't quite a bit like her. She was a farm woman. Hey, I'm a farm woman. She raised turkeys and chickens. So do I. You know, she loved roses. I like roses. So it was one of those things. I just felt like to honor her, I really needed to go visit her grave. So if I get started crying, it's okay. When I got down there to the cemetery, I thought I was totally by myself. I really did. I didn't think there was anybody there. And she and her husband are buried right next to each other. And it did not bother me visiting her grave or her husband's grave one bit. But Mary had 9 children. And just about all of her children are buried right around her within sight of her grave. And I felt like I was being torn in half because the historical researcher in me was going, oh, this is cool. I've got to spend some time here. But the part of me that portrays Mary, the part of me that tries to be Mary, she was going, oh, my babies. So here I am. I'm out there all by myself, and I'm just having a good cry because these kids are people I talk about. Her oldest son, Sammy, became a medical doctor. So did her youngest son. Her 8-year-old son, Johnny, died in 1870. Her little baby, Robert, died within 6 months of Johnny. So it was, I really did. I just felt like I was being torn apart. Well, I thought I was by myself. I was not by myself out there in that cemetery. There was a lady came up, a lady that I knew from town. She lived there in town with me. And the thing was, I felt like a fraud because she's up there and she's just consoling me. And she's going, oh, Vicki, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you had anybody here. And I'm going, I don't. I don't. I mean, not really. It's not anybody that I ever actually met. It's the only member of that family that I've ever actually met and have done a lot of work with is her 4 times great-grandniece, the person who gave me all of the information. But that is the only actual family member that I have met. Her son, Sammy, I really am going somewhere with this. Her oldest son, Sammy, during 1864, the Civil War was down, it was, people were down to nothing in 1864. Inflation was so bad, the Confederate money was not worth anything. Mary's husband was gone, and here's another funny thing about Mary is, we think people that, oh, my husband's in the service, he's gone forever. He's gone all the time. And he was gone a lot, but he wasn't gone long because she still managed to give birth to 4 children during the war. So you know, it's these things that you know, but Sammy, the oldest one, in 1864, he would have been 7, 8 years old, and he had malaria. Lots and lots of people in that area had malaria. Malaria was just, it was just an epidemic in, well, even over in Jacksonport. Lots of people, if you live anywhere near a river or have been on the rivers, you're going to have malaria. And Sammy had a really bad case of malaria. And Mary was a gardener. She gardened, and watermelons were famous in Hempstead County then, just like the way they are today in Cave City. And so that area grows really good Hope watermelons. And Mary had a huge garden, and she loaded up a wagon with watermelons and took them to town and sold her watermelons for $400. Except the money had reduced in value so much that enough quinine for her son's malaria was $565. And she didn't have the money to pay for enough quinine for her son, Sammy. And that's the reason why I'm holding this bottle. Mary did a little bit of research, and one thing we've got magnolia trees, and magnolia bark contains quinine, which is what malaria is treated with. And willow bark contains aspirin. That's where aspirin comes from. So Mary went and harvested, and dogwood, flowering dogwood also contains a little bit of quinine in the bark. So she made a combination of these 3 different barks and was able to treat her son's malaria. And she wrote that she had to use about twice as much of the bark as she would have had to use cinchona bark, is where quinine comes from, or they call it Peruvian bark. And quinine is what malaria is still treated with today. I mean, it's just one of those things. That's what you treat malaria with. So this bark is kind of special though. This bark came off the historic tree at Washington, which was planted in 1839. And the gardener would bring me the branches when he had to trim the tree. And I would harvest the bark off that tree. So this is actually from probably the tree that Mary used to harvest her magnolia bark, and that tree is still alive and well today. It's a big, huge tree. It lost that a few years ago, but the one in Texarkana that took its place is cheating. It's got a branch, it's got way out there, and they measured that around the drip line, and so it's got its arm way out there. So, but I think in circumference of the actual trunk, I really think the one there in Washington is still the biggest one. I'm going to bring this, I warned you that I can talk forever, but I'm going to go ahead and bring this to an end. I hope that you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed talking. Oh, I do have a couple things I want to say. Does anybody have any questions about the program itself or any suggestions? I'm open to suggestions. Anyone? Okay. I think there's enough of these for everyone to have a copy. What this is another book. You can find this if you want to do some more research on Civil War medicine. Go to Google free books online and get 19th century free books. And this is where I got this. go ahead and pass these out, and this will give, you know, you can get more information. And now I've got to do the plug for my park, because I'm a good employee. At Jacksonport State Park, we do all kinds of things all the time. This Saturday, I am having a Bluebird House workshop, and I've got 26 Bluebird House kits, because me and my husband and another kid made up 26 kits yesterday. And on the 20th of this month, the 20th of February, I am having an herbal medicine workshop, and you can come and help me, and we'll make medicine that you can take home with you. Okay? One of the things that we're going to be making, and I'm going to make you look it up, it is a 19th century medicine. It's completely safe. I researched this because I don't want to kill anyone. I want it to be authentic, and I want it to be useful, but I don't want it to hurt anyone, so I'm really careful picking my whatever we make. Last year we made lip balm, and we made 1850 cough syrup. They called it cough syrup, or the cure for whooping cough then. I call it sweet and sour sauce. It was vinegar, honey, and olive oil. Doesn't that sound like it'd be great on chicken? But these are printed on both sides, so if you know anyone that would like to, come on out. And I can always use volunteers. Hint, hint.
Did you ever have anything for your age?
Yes, absolutely. I don't have it with me, but yes, you can take the weed, it's called mullein, great mullein, verbascum thapsus, and again, I don't speak Latin, so I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right. Grows all over it. You can distill an oil from the blossoms and olive oil and put that in there. But what I use, half, 50% white vinegar and 50% alcohol. The vinegar will kill any bacteria, and the alcohol dries out so funguses can't. Keep in mind, I'm not a doctor, okay? Just please keep that in mind.
Vicki, we appreciate you coming today. Our club is doing a literacy project, and we're going to donate this book to the Independence County Library. It's called One Simple Act. And inside it says this book is donated on behalf of Vicki
Shinawise.
with the Jacksonport State Park for speaking to the Rotary Club of Batesville on February 1st, 2016. So thank you so much for coming.
Can I take your picture so I can prove to Mark that I actually did come to this?
While she's doing that, I've got just a couple of quick reminders. I want to remind everybody of our inclement weather policy. If Batesville School District is closed due to weather, then we will not meet. Brenda and Deanna and I met Friday and started discussions about the yard sale. We are planning a yard sale / craft show at the Independence County Fairgrounds in April is what we're looking at. So when you start cleaning out your closets, make a little box for the Rotary Club. We'll take anything that you want to donate to us that we can sell. We're also going to sell booths again this year. And Walmart sacks. When you go to Walmart and Kroger and Harps, please save your sacks for us. We will be able to use them at the yard sale as well. And then one more quick reminder, I've still got, like I said, 2 or 3 spots open for the banquet this Friday night. If you want to go, please let me know ASAP. We're going to leave town about 4:45 Friday afternoon.
She's just taking that.
Go ahead and draw the winning ticket. 164. 164. Mark out.
Clay, he picked yours up.
I think so.
You got I hate that for you.
Oh, that was right in the middle.
Don't conceal that.
Too bad, so sad. We were up to $993. I really thought we'd hit 1,000 today, so that would have been a $496.50 split. So maybe next week, bring your money.
Just a little bit more.
Does anybody have anything else for the good of Rotary? If not, we'll end as we always do. The 4-way test is the things we think, say, and do. Number 1.
Is it true?
Number 2.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Number 3.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And number 4.
Will it be beneficial to all